On the 22nd of August, 2025, the story around Paige Bueckers changed in real time.
The first time we saw Paige really get guarded. This is where we saw what is going to happen in year 2. This is the scout report that needs to be out there on Paige Bueckers once the Dallas Wings get good, because the Dallas Wings are going to get good at some stage in her career. This was the game where I'm like, okay, we can show.
2 nights earlier, she lit up the league with a record night that looked untouchable. Then came a blowout that had everyone asking if the hype had cracked. 2 games, 2 headlines, 1 rookie the internet could not stop trying to define. This video cuts through the noise, what actually happened on the floor, why it hit as hard as it did, and what the cameras did not tell you. No fluff, no filler, just the plays, the pressure, and the parts people keep getting wrong. To understand why that night landed like a thunderclap, we need to rewind to how she arrived and what was expected from day one.
It's a little bit different out here when you get Caitlin Clark treatment. It ain't so easy peasy getting to play one-on-one, getting to just do your thing how you want to do it, when you want to do it.
Elevation of one Paige Bueckers. Oh, she's better than Caitlin Clark. I mean, stab me in the eye with a spoon, for Christ's sakes. Wow. So that's a thing right now. Last night, Paige Bueckers dropped 44 points. And we're going to look at a video that just dissects and exposes a lot of that shit. Let me tell you. It exposes a lot of stuff involving Paige Bueckers getting special treatment on the court.
Diana said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening. And they all jumped over her, but they didn't read the whole thing that she said. But nobody's printing. You know, Diana Taurasi was right. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie. And if you're a WNBA player, if you're any kind of player, you're going to say, I'm going to make a statement.
Dubbed Divas Kat Engelbert is breathing a sigh of relief. Her pretend friends in the mainstream media, they are trying to crown a new star. If the media has it their way, this could potentially be the new face of pretend basketball. And it's not just the woke media. There are even some in conservative media who are voluntarily biting into the shit sandwich. Headline at Outkick. No, Caitlin, no problem. Paige Bueckers can save the WNBA season.
Went off in a game against the Los Angeles Sparks, scoring 44 points, but the craziest part about that was her shooting percentage. She shot over 80% from the field, and I tweeted about that, and I was like, that's actually insane. Give props where they are due. Shooting over 80%, scoring 44 points is actually insane. But with this game, like Paige Bueckers she put on a masterclass in scoring, and I think with that, these are some big numbers.
Again, you said it's going to be important to be physical with like Paige Bueckers. Can you talk about the defensive game plan for Dallas and like how your team was able to hold them to their fewest points of the season?
Yeah, it started, with our attention to detail with Paige. I thought, Slim was very physical, stayed in her space, and the actions that we guarded her in, we were very aggressive, showed multiple bodies, and kind of, made her hesitant to use the ball screen a little bit. I thought we rotated well.
Paige Bueckers got Caitlin Clark treatment for the first time in her career, and it looked bad. It looked real bad. Everybody was running around. Yeah, she was cooking 44 points versus the Sparks. They didn't play a lick of defense, letting this girl play one-on-one basketball in every area of the floor, letting her post up in the mid-range area one-on-one. Now, I'm giving credit. She's a bucket in one-on-one, especially from that mid-range, from the free throw line down area. But this is the first time we watch teams actively be persistent about taking away her spots and what she wants to.
She got doubled. And do you want to know what she did as soon as she got blitzed in doubles? She passed. Paige Bueckers, look, she played decent amount early in the game. The game was kind of over and she got subbed out. Paige Bueckers shot 7 times.
Paige Bueckers, let me ask you this. How did it feel to be blitzed 6 and played 94 feet before you even get a chance to bring the ball up court like your name was Caitlin Clark, aka my precious Cece. You didn't like that, huh? You hear me? You out there was looking like you was about to cry. Yeah, so what do your fans have to say now? Excuse me, where are you Paige Bueckers fans at? That's y'all MVP and face of the league, right? She's boring. She's not good enough. She gets special treatment. But understand, she kept getting blitz after blitz after blitz.
Look up how the WNBA played against Caitlin Clark in terms of the defensive strategy, in terms of the other basketball teams around the WNBA, what they did against Caitlin Clark versus how they've handled Paige this year. Everybody wants to act like Paige is so much better than Caitlin. They're certainly not playing defense on Paige the way they played on Caitlin. They're certainly not attacking her with unnecessary fouls the way they attacked Caitlin with unnecessary fouls last year. So in the 2024 season, there were 35 flagrant fouls called. Caitlin Clark received 17% of the entire season's flagrant fouls, 17%. I mean, we've seen all the injuries, we've seen all the fights, the MMA fights that the WNBA players have gotten into this year. There haven't been 35 flagrant fouls called.
17 on the floor. She had 0 assists and 11 points. 0 assists. 0 assists. I don't like. That's mental. That's mental for a player that they were trying to say was better than Caitlin Clark. And I'm not even going to say, oh yeah, you know, the points are everything. Points aren't everything at the end of the day. Assists aren't everything. Like, all of these individual stats aren't everything. It was just the fact that she literally, how many blitzes did the Indiana or how many open shots did the Indiana Fever get off a Caitlin Clark blitz?
When you guard a player like Paige, it's not just relying on, you know, your guards, whoever has a main matchup, but it becomes a team picture, and understanding, you know, rotations on the ball, off the ball. And I think the other thing that we did, you know, early on, we rebounded decently out of it. We didn't give up too many. I think it was 12 second chance points at the half, but not a lot of you know, deflating possessions after having a lot of deflections and things.
Yeah, not enough. But if her name was Caitlin Clark, I bet she would have had at least 9 to 10 assists. You hear me? Because she's more than just a scorer. You hear me? Unlike Paige Bueckers, she's only a scorer. She's not dynamic. She's boring. You hear me? Clearly she fits the narrative, but she can't handle being double team or triple team.
Know what Paige Bueckers did every time the blitz came her way? Give up the ball and never look to get it back again. She just gave up. That is what we are talking about. You guys are running around and acting like everybody's getting guarded like Caitlin Clark, and it's not the truth. It's not facts at all. It's not facts at all. Paige Bueckers finally got a taste of a glimpse of what that tastes like.
Paige did not arrive by accident. She built a resume that turned college arenas into checkpoints, stacked awards, fought through setbacks, and came back sharper. Coaches trusted her late. Teammates fed off her calm, and her game kept widening. The handle looked loose yet precise. The mid-range felt automatic. The reads came a beat earlier than everyone else. By the time draft night hit, the conversation was not if she would go first. It was how fast she could change a franchise. Dallas needed a lead guard who could organize chaos. A rebuilding roster meant heavy minutes, tough matchups, and instant leadership. The pressure was real. Every touch got measured. Every shot became proof for someone's argument. That is what a top pick inherits. You face traps before you cross half court. You see length at the point of attack. You learn which passes work in college and which passes get picked in the pros. She leaned into it. Film sessions turned into problem sets. Angles, timing, shot diet, pace. The goal was simple: make the right play, again and again, even when the defense knows it is coming. Next, the moment that sent her name across every timeline in the league. 44 points, 17 makes on 21 attempts, 4 for 4 from deep. It looked like a video game on rookie mode. Every touch felt purposeful, no wasted dribbles. She walked into pull-ups, slipped behind switches, and relocated for clean catch-and-shoot looks. The footwork was calm. The pace was hers. Defenders chased. She kept arriving first. The shot mix told the story. Elbow pick and roll into a soft rise. A hang dribble to freeze help. A back cut the moment a defender turned his head. Corner 3 off a quick relocation. She turned simple actions into easy points. When help finally came, she used it. One step, one read, bucket. It was ruthless in the quiet way only great guards are. Efficiency made it historic. Over 80% from the field is rare at any level. Over 40 as a rookie on that clip is almost unheard of. The arena felt small. Every make turned the volume up. Timelines filled with clips. Comment sections called it unreal. The number next to her name did not look like a rookie line. It looked like a warning. There was a twist. They still lost by 1. That detail sharpened the glare. It shifted the narrative from celebration to debate. If a night that clean cannot drag a win over the line, what does it say about the roster around her? What does it say about how teams will guard her next time? The performance became a scouting packet for the entire league. The ripple effect was immediate. Talk shows, group chats, highlights on loop. Rookie of the Year talk went from maybe to must-watch. Teammates spoke about how simple she made the floor feel. Opponents admitted the first step felt faster in person. You could sense it shift. The league had a new problem to solve. And then came the answer. 2 nights later, a veteran group built a plan to slow her and put it on the floor. Seattle showed up ready. They jammed the first pass, put size on the ball, and sent a second defender as soon as she dribbled. 2 to the ball, help at the nail, and a floor that felt crowded on every touch. They erased rhythm looks. No easy pull-up, no clean relocation 3. Handoffs were denied, switches came with length, and drives met peel switches and bodies. Misses turned into runouts that widened the gap. They also made her guard, chase cutters, fight through screens, and box out bigger wings. Every trip added miles before the next offensive possession. The answers are simple and repeatable. Hit the short roll early, flip the screen angle, use a shooter as the screener, reject once to keep the big honest. Cut behind the blitz. The internet yelled expose. The bigger noise arrived when the comparisons came roaring back. The internet loves a face-off. Paige versus the other rookie became easy content. Algorithms crave conflict. Headlines sharpened every make and every miss into proof. It sells. It rarely explains. Roles are different. Situations are different. One carries a rebuilding roster and absorbs traps on every touch. The other bends defenses with range that changes how teams line up. Comparing their nights like mirror images flattens both. It turns craft and context into a scoreboard for clicks. The skill sets do not match cleanly. Paige wins with pace control, footwork, and mid-range timing. She decoys, waits, and knifes into gaps. The other star tilts the floor from 30 feet and forces rotations before the ball even moves. Both are special. Neither is the copy of the other. Rivalry talk makes every stumble feel like a scandal. One blowout becomes a verdict. One record becomes a coronation. Strip away the noise and look at the season arc instead. The numbers and the film tell the real story next. Zoom out from one rough night and the pattern is clear. Rookies ride waves. Usage jumps, shot quality swings, and the game speeds up when teams load the paint. The box score gets loud, then quiet, then loud again. Role matters. A primary ball handler eats the hard shots, end-of-clock pull-ups, drives through contact, efficiency dips when spacing tightens, and lifts when shooters hit corners. That is not a flaw. That is the job. The fixes are already showing. Earlier reads to the short roll, one more pass to the corner, a stronger first step to win the outside hip, a quicker gather in traffic to draw whistles instead of floaters. Small choices that stack into cleaner possessions. Growth is rarely linear. The tape shows better pacing, sharper counters, and fewer wasted dribbles. Turnovers that came from forcing a window are slowly becoming layups and free throws. The trend is the story, not a single box score. And while the film keeps improving, the noise around her kept getting louder off the court. The spotlight did not wait for her. It followed. College turned her into a household name, and the pro jump only amplified it. Blue chip partners lined up, commercial shoots, community events, and media days stacked around practice and travel. The schedule felt crowded before the first tip. Visibility cuts 2 ways. Every smile in a tunnel becomes a post. Every quiet moment on the bench becomes a screenshot. Clips go viral for reasons that have nothing to do with basketball. That noise builds storylines that the court has to answer. Her brand is control and calm. Simple fits, clean delivery in interviews, a willingness to give credit and keep the focus on the work. That plays well with sponsors and with fans who value substance over theatrics. It also raises the bar. When the game dips, the spotlight burns brighter. There is curiosity about her private life too. Whispers turn into thumbnails, comments become narratives. She keeps it close, which only fuels more speculation. The lesson is old. The less you feed it, the louder it gets. The upside is reach. Camps, clinics, and charity nights fill fast. Young guards copy the footwork. Families show up early just to watch warm-ups. Off the floor, she can move people. On the floor, she has to move defenses. Both jobs are real. Next comes the bigger question that hovers over every rising star. What does being the face of a franchise, and maybe a league, actually require beyond highlights and headlines? There is no single savior. Leagues grow when many currents move at once. Broadcasts expand, stars stack up, and rivalries give casual fans a reason to check back. One rookie can light the match. The fire takes a village. Rebuilds are not highlight reels. A young guard learns when to push and when to set the table. Coaches test new lineups. Teammates figure out the best angles to screen and space. The improvement lives in small possessions that never trend. Being the face of a team is more than scoring. It is availability, poise, and steady habits on travel days. It is speaking after losses with the same clarity you bring after wins. It is lifting role players by giving them shots they like, then living with the results. The path forward is practical. Harden the handle against traps. Demand better spacing. Hunt mismatches early so the defense cannot load up late. Stack film work with reps and let the numbers follow the decisions. The question is not if a single game defines her. The question is how quickly she turns lessons into edges. That answer sets up what comes next, and the final chapter brings it all into focus. 2 games told the whole arc. A record night that bent the league's attention and a veteran clinic that shrank the floor. The internet tried to turn it into a verdict. The film turned it into homework. That is how real stars are made. The rivalry chatter was loud and easy. Context was quieter and truer. Roles, rosters, and responsibilities do not line up cleanly, and that is why one box score never defines a future. The rookie curve is not a cliff. It is a staircase. What matters now is response. Cleaner reads against pressure. Smarter use of screeners. Quicker trust in shooters. If those pieces click, the same traps that slowed her become layups for teammates and free throws for her. Off the court, the spotlight will keep spinning. On the court, the answers will stay simple. Win the angle, win the tempo, win the next possession. That is the part no headline can fake. Next, watch how the counters show up in the rematch, and whether the plan that worked once can hold when she brings new answers.